In this video, we'll edit another sky. It looks like we have another blown out sky to edit. The last one did seem to save as a TIFF file. So if you look if you do get the project files for this, then that's what you'll get. It's the TIFF file for that. All right, so with this, we're going to basically run through the same process, mostly for consistency purposes. Once I'm happy with one of them, it's kind of like copying and pasting the adjustments. We'll want to do that across the board. We can make some changes because, of course, time of day and things like that. But that's why I'm using the same sky. Just slight adjustments, maybe the clouds move just a little bit or whatever, and that's fine. But there we go. Now let's come in. We got this. Go to our subject, select subject, see how that works out. Give us our little mask here. So this is our subject mask, just so we have that. And let's create, if I remember right, yep, we need our wire mask probably. So let's just select that. Okay, we can get rid of, we don't really need all this. We're just looking for the wires, basically. That's just going to be extra cleanup that we'll have to do if that's included in there. Remove all that. So I am holding down Alt, the Option on a Mac, in order to remove that. We're not doing anything at the bottom, so I just want the wires at the top. That's fine. Giving that a little bit there. This is just going to make it easier as we use this mask. Don't have to. It's fine. All right, super minimal or super minor there, but we'll create our new, this is our wire mask, just so we have that. And then we'll probably want to invert that is what we're going to do because we're keeping the wires in the shot of the sky here. So let's start masking this out. Just my flow. The car's there. Like that. Of course, we're going to blur it more. This here, we can go a little bit above this. So we've got our change there. Something like that. So we're kind of imagining where that line would be on the other end. Because, I mean, it's not just where the car's parked, but also, like most parking garages, there's the walls and such. So this is kind of the ground here, and then that would be the wall at the end of the top there. So let's take this guy here, go ahead and duplicate that, merge it. We're going to, oops, I don't want to do that. I accidentally, it's doing our Luminar Neo. I moved too fast on the filter, and that's not what I want. I don't want that filter applied. But because it's launching Luminar, we're going to have to wait for this to finish and then apply the blur. That's what I want, is I want the blur on that sky. All right, so it did that. That's not what we want. All right, undo that. And we don't need the mask on here. That's fine. Oh, wait, we're actually going to merge that. There we go. Yeah, that's right. So basically a good way to apply that mask. So we have that. Now we can come in and we want to blur it quite a bit. Apply the mask. And we had curves that we copied before, but we'll just go ahead and do these. Apply just to the sky. And we could brighten it even more, but we could also just basically take this, because we had white there. I'm just adding a little bit more. There we go. All right, so you can see the sky a little bit there. It's not completely blown out, but we have that added in. Now we can come in, and if we want to do what we did in the previous edit, Control E. So this is going to be our luminar layer. Now we can come in and apply luminar. Since we did our blur filter, we lost that last the settings that we did in luminar. That's okay. We'll just load this up and do a quick edit here. And again, it pulls it off on a different monitor. So let me pull this over, and we're going to come in. Do just a little bit of cleanup here with a little bit of face lightening and just a little bit more color back in, just because some of it's probably washed out from the little bit of so you can see before and after. Super subtle stuff, but just a little bit of brightening on that, and just a little bit of skin cleanup. So again, super subtle, but that's what we're going for, super subtle. And then we'll do the same teeth cleanup. That's probably, I could just pull over that saturation from the other file, but we don't have that file open. So it'll be faster just to recreate it than it will to open that massive file. So we'll just come in and then select this and, oops, desaturate to make it a little more white, blow out the lightness just a little bit, and then we'll hide it all and paint this back in. So the reason why I'm just doing the yellows there is that way when I mask this, it doesn't have to be 100%, because if I were doing the master, then of course it's going to affect everything, right? You can see it's going to affect the gums and all that kind of stuff. But when I'm just doing the yellow, and that's usually what it is on teeth, it's usually going to be a yellow tint that gets added. It's just a little bit easier. Again, just working a little bit faster, less editing that you have to do, and to pull that in. So our luminar, let's do our subject mask on that. So we have our luminar layer. And you know, it's not too bad, the hair there. We can paint a little bit in. We can paint a little bit in. Flows. Yeah, that's okay. I'll use my pressure sensitivity then, just to get a little bit of. So I'm just sampling a lot of different colors, bring some of that back. Change my flow just a little bit. Maybe a little bit more. On her, again, just painting some of these in. Just some subtle stuff. Okay. All right. This is just, let me just name this. Okay, so, and normally, I mean, if this is something, I know if you get the project files on these, you'll be like, these are not named, the layers are not named. Usually it's just me working with these, so it's not that big of a deal. But, you know, you can come in here, and what I'll do a lot of times is do something like this. So these are going to be the hair fixes. This is all of these are the sky, just kind of grouping everything together. And then this is just the base. So stuff like that. So I might do that on some of them and try to clean it up a little bit for you there. But all right, so we have that. Let's go ahead and save this. And then we will be working on the next one while that saves. But we'll go ahead and end this video here. And in the next video, we'll start editing this shot.